Hi everyone, let's make Sinhala Achcharu or Sri Lankan Pickle today. First we'll soak the mustard seeds. I'm just using the vinegar. Mix it well and keep it aside until you get everything else ready. Sort of about 30 minutes would do. And this is the papaw or papaya. I've grated it and I'm adding salt and the turmeric. You have to massage it through really well so it doesn't miss any of it. We add turmeric because it's kind of a germ killer as well. Mix it well, make sure to massage it through. And then leave it aside. Now let's do the mustard seeds. I'm using a pestle and mortar, but you can use a mixer grinder as well. But I thought since it's only too little quantity, it might not be so effective as well. Just start with the mustard, pound it thoroughly until it becomes a fine paste. Now make sure you don't have water in any of the utensils or anything that you use for this dish. I'm adding vinegar there, and if you leave any water on any of the substances, it might go moldy, so just be careful every time you use something, just to make sure that you don't have water contact in there. I'm just checking the whether it's enough, like whether it's fine enough. And then I'll be adding the other ingredients as well. So I'm going to put in ginger, garlic, and the pepper seeds. And pound it thoroughly again until it becomes a fine paste. You can add a little more vinegar if you want to. But it doesn't have to be very runny as well, so add them a little by little. And pound thoroughly. Now all the vegetables and the onions I have, I'm adding turmeric there. I have washed them and pat dried to make sure that no water contains in there. Just to make sure, I just thought I'll make a note of it so that you also know that what to do. So use a paper towel and pat them dry until all the water is removed. Or even you can keep it aside, like on a paper towel laid, sort of like for about a few minutes until it all dries up. Whichever, just make sure you don't have water in there. And that's done. Put it aside, and then let's move on to the next step. Now I'm using a cotton cloth. and then squeeze it. It's going to be a bit hard to squeeze, but it's worthwhile squeezing all the water out, because when when you put salt in Papaw or Papaya, it tends to ooze out all the water in it. So by squeezing all the water out, we are just making sure that it doesn't go moldy once all the other ingredients are mixed through. So look at how much water it's coming out. So make sure you squeeze it thoroughly. And then also by doing this, it actually reduces the volume as well. So you might have been thinking, oh, 400 grams might be too much, but it's actually not. It is actually about half of this size when it's squeezed, and water will squeeze all out. So do this little by little, don't use too much. Otherwise it will be too hard for you to squeeze it. I did this about in 3 portions. Let's move into the next step. On medium heat, I'm using a clay pot, and that's vinegar that I added, leftover vinegar that I used for the mustard seeds, and the onion. Now the shallots that I found here are a little bit too big, so I cut them into wedges. And if you find smaller shallots, it's much better. But it doesn't really matter. You can use the normal onions as well, as long as it's cut into small pieces. Now don't leave it for more than 15 seconds and take it off. Now I'm using the same vinegar for the carrot as well. Add a little bit salt to the onion and then the carrots as well. Now if you don't have a clay pot, don't worry, you can use a normal pot. It's just it gives a different taste when you use a clay pot, but it doesn't really have to be. Now the carrots also 15 seconds, not more than that. Take it off from the and now I'm gonna do the chili as well. Now chili I have split in the middle, and find as thin as possible and longer ones. Put some salt again, and then 15 seconds, take it off. Now once this is done, I'm going to throw out the leftover vinegar on and then wash it a little bit in the same pot. I'm not going to use the cooked vinegar because it's always contains water from the cooked onions and carrots. So make sure that you throw out and then dry it off completely. Now the stove is also, like, I've switched off, it's not on, so you don't need to cook it again. I'm adding the other 1/4 cup of vinegar and the mustard paste. Mix it thoroughly. This is the final part. Now usually Sri Lankans have these Sinhala Achcharu or Lankan Pickle every festival, or like, it doesn't have to be a recent seriously, and then they will eat it with check salt, taste whether it's enough salt, but you can add a little more. I actually used about a teaspoon for the whole dish, but it's entirely up to you whether to add it more or less, depending on the taste that you are after. Mix it thoroughly and then add the vegetables. So in goes all the vegetables that we cooked in vinegar. Until it becomes incorporated. and then lastly add the Papaw or papaya, and mix well. Now usually this is really tasty after a couple of days. I'm using a glass jar that I have already sterilized in boiling water for about 15 minutes, and make sure that it's airtight, and then leave it in dry and away from sunlight, so you can keep it for about a month minimum. So that this is the jar that I'm using, but I'm just making sure that I don't have any water in there, so I'm just heating up over the stove. And then if the lid is a aluminium lid or not a plastic lid, you can use a oil paper and then cover it. I'll show you that at the end of the video. And also make sure that you don't use any spoons that has water in it every time that you use them. Now I'm going to leave it covered for a little while because it's still a little warm. Now this is the jar that I'm using, so I'm using a oil paper so it doesn't get contacted with the lid that I have here. That's my Sinhala Achcharu. I hope you enjoy. Please like, comment and subscribe, and follow my Instagram at absoluteneys. See you soon. Bye for now.